everybody. I'm Peter Grant with Zaner Metals in Denver. This is This Week in Metals. Peter Thomas is here. What's
I
the
I just
news?
I just took two Dramamine because I think I've been like in a storm on a ship here. It's the ups and downs. I was getting a little queasy. It's been whoa. Yeah. What a
Yeah,
week,
yeah.
huh?
And you're speaking specifically of silver here, so let's just jump
Oh,
right into that.
yes,
You know,
absolutely.
what I found interesting. So when we shot our show for this past week,
Yeah.
um, the buzz was already going about silver.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
that the Reddit crowd had put the squeeze on some of the hedge funds in GameStop and a couple of other
Yep.
heavily shorted stocks, and they were starting to talk about silver,
Yep.
and so the buzz was there. You know, come to find, this week, early on in the week, the Reddit crowd and Wall Street Bets in particular was like, what are you talking about? We have no interest in silver whatsoever, and we had nothing to do with this. And
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Whoever started the buzz and whatever the motivation was, they succeeded to a degree
Oh yeah.
because
To a big degree.
we were all hands on deck Sunday
Oh yeah.
night, this past Sunday night,
Wait a minute, and still are.
and
Let's
still are.
yeah. Yeah.
In anticipation of of an opening in Asia that was like $2 higher, $2 and
Oh
change,
yeah.
and they ran it all the way up to $30.
Yeah.
From there, whatever the case, they didn't have the stroke to get it through $30 and
Yeah.
keep it there. Maybe they just hit the option knockouts and called it a day. I don't know,
Could be. Could
but
be.
they sold it off pretty aggressively.
Yeah.
When all
Oh,
was
yeah.
said and done this last week, silver was down 0.4%. So they ran it up
Now,
to
does that
it.
include today's close? Because, man, it was strong on the close here. We were
Yeah,
up like 70 going into the close.
still closed lower on the week. So
Wow.
we set
Okay.
an 8-year high. I had the high at $30.02, or
All right. But you know what? I had the cash high at like $37, but we'll leave it at that. All right.
well, we can maybe talk about that
Yeah.
because you know in the previous week, well, I mean, even going back to the beginning of COVID, let's just stay on silver for the time being.
Sure. Sure.
From the beginning of COVID and the supply chain disruptions and stuff,
Right.
the market, is tight on physical availability.
Oh yeah. And we've been telling people for the past year to maybe start buying the stuff in the teens, and then all of a sudden it runs at 30, and
Yeah.
you know,
Well, certainly, all the buzz that started around silver, sucked all the available silver supply out of the market.
yes, it
I
did.
mean, I mean, there is
There's none.
stuff trickles in.
Yeah.
I've got 500 of these. I've got, a
Right.
thousand. I was trying to work a deal for a client on 500, a retail client on 500 ounces of silver. Finally tracked down somebody that had 5,000 ounces of kangaroos. Called
Ah.
them back. The
Yeah.
5,000 ounces was down to 2,000 ounces. I bought my 500, and then boom, everything's gone.
I know. I was trying to track down a large amount of 100-ounce bars, and they were going like hotcakes. I mean, it was just hard to believe. I finally said,
Right?
"Can you set this aside for me?" Normally you call up, "Oh, I need 100 of these 100." No big deal. They're there for a little bit. Gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
And the premiums obviously, have gone through the roof.
To the roof. Yeah.
And that speaks
Yeah.
to what you're saying, 37
Yeah.
bucks in the cash market with premium.
Oh,
It's
it's
like
insane.
crazy. And
Uh,
it's not going to get any better anytime soon. I
no, it's not.
know that there's a lot of stuff in the pipeline, but it's coming through with this higher premium. And even thankfully, things sold off, and calmer heads prevailed maybe, and not
Maybe. That's a
yeah,
maybe, but
maybe.
look at Director Ryder has stated with no step back at all. I mean, he just came out and said, "Hey guys, we're not going to be able to deliver as much as we were hoping we were going to deliver." So no matter what you think, the guys that make it are telling us they can't get it to us. So
You're right.
there's going to be a continued shortage. Now, Granted, we're going to try to stamp as many as we can and buy from as many sources. And we have a lot of sources. I mean, we'll be buying from Canada, we'll be buying from Austria, we'll be buying from the kangaroos that you mentioned. As a matter of fact, we'll be buying out of Australia as well. So I mean, we have sources, and we will be tapping them for you, but it's tight. It's tight.
Yeah. And it's the premium, the higher premium we're seeing is pretty much across the product range. And
That's true too.
so
Yeah, usually a lot of times you can pick up wire or extruded shot at, still at a reasonable rate. Not a chance.
it
I mean,
doubled.
everything went up.
The premium the premium on
Everything
shot,
went up.
1,000 ounce bars, it all doubled.
Yep.
And
Oh
so,
yeah.
the private mints, for example, in the United States that make rounds and so forth,
Right.
they're having to play twice as much premium wise,
Hmm.
as they had been
Yep.
previously.
Oh yeah.
So again, the stuff that's in the pipeline is going to
Yeah.
be more expensive. It's a reality that people are just going to have to get used to.
One quick shout out here. I know, Director Ryder, if you would please open the San Francisco Mint. It'd take a lot of pressure off of us on the East Coast and the Midwest, and you can deliver directly out there. We can get you product, and so you can start stamping. So I'm just a recommendation, okay?
You know what happened when he opened up Philly as as an emergency source of
It
silver
was a
eagles.
madhouse.
It was a madhouse, and then people like, oh, it's numismatic now because
Yeah,
we
right.
know the box
But
numbers of the stuff that came out of Philly.
yeah,
So
we do.
yeah, so you talk about crazy premiums. I mean, if he does, I mean, if you open up San Francisco as an emergency source, keep it open. Yeah,
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And you know what? Yeah, I should have added that. And you know what? They still have a mint sitting there in Denver,
they
idle,
do. Well,
and it's beautiful.
we strike pocket change here.
Yeah, I know,
Pennies,
but
dimes, nickels.
we're talking about profit for the United States government. I know it's a new concept, but come on, guys.
Yeah,
You have two beautiful manufacturing facilities. Turn them on. Turn them on. People need jobs, man. This is a tough time out there in the economy. Let's
right.
let's put some people to work and get some money into the government. I'm just saying.
Well, let's wrap up on silver. So the
Okay.
bottom line is, when all was said and done after the big sell-off,
Yeah.
it was up 11.4% on Monday last week.
Yeah. Right. That's
And
right.
then by the close on Monday, it was 5% off the high.
Yeah.
And then by the low on Thursday, it was
Was it Thursday? Yeah.
almost 14% off the high. So it's kind of hovering right around the midpoint of the range. So if you
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
the 2164 low to the new $30 high, the midpoint of the range is sort of where we settled out, kind of right around
Okay.
the 20-day moving average as well. I'm still bullish. I still think the fundamentals are favorable for silver.
Nothing's changed.
And
Nothing's changed.
despite the volatility and so forth,
Yeah.
and what I did like about all this buzz is it brought in a lot of new buyers, or raised the interest level amongst perhaps a whole new set of physical buyers, which
I,
I
I,
which I think
I,
ultimately is great.
Well, I would tell you, and a lot of our people know we've been, Zaner's been in business for 40 years, and I've been writing IRAs for at least 20, 25 years. And usually, a lot of people now are retiring and they're selling us our product. And the product that we sold them, they're calling us and saying, hey, we want to sell it back to them. And it's been a real good source for us now as far as getting product in. We're getting gold eagles, we're getting silver boxes of silver, and they're doing real well for their retirement. So it's a win-win. Uh,
For sellers in general, even though the premium on the ask side is sky high right now,
yeah,
the bids, if you're looking
uh,
to sell,
yeah.
the bids are at record highs as well.
I was just gonna say that's where we're going. If you have metal in your retirement fund that we helped you with or someone else did, give us a call. Now is the time. It's really, really a monstrous premium. I mean, you could do very, very well for your retirement if you want to take some of your metal out.
Right. And
Yeah, I just want to
certainly,
throw
if you
that
have
in.
a mandatory distribution, we'd love to help you
Right,
out with that.
exactly right. If you have a forced dispensation coming off your ERISA law, we will be here to support you with cash and fill out all the proper paperwork for you. It's not a problem.
Right.
And real quick, I got to go to my shout out pages. Here we go. Charles Payne from Fox News came out today and said, American investors aren't stupid. I, I was just shocked. I mean, it made me feel so good because I've been saying in all the shows, I go, all these people are self-educating themselves, sitting in front of these machines, looking at their screens and going to all these classes and whatnot. And today, one of the major newscasters comes out and goes, no, these people really aren't stupid. They've been buying dips now. It's kind of like, oh,
Right.
really? So it's nice to get a little support here and there from some of the bigger guns. Um, Big shout out to the Illinois National Guard. Tremendous job today. I went in and got my inoculation for COVID. Smooth, streamlined, polite military operation, top to bottom. Hand salute to the commanding officer for the job you've done there. Just fantastic. I was just stunned. Um, get out there, get your inoculation, everybody. Let's kick this thing in the butt. Let's get this country rolling, okay?
Yeah.
And roll those sleeves up. Go online, make your reservation, and go on in. Last thing is we're doing a scrapping special for scrappers, all you guys. Scott is coming in, and we're going to be working with the Scrap Association, and the room is starting to fill up pretty quickly. I was kind of surprised. I thought we'd have 50, 60. We're 150, 160, and people are signing up every day. So I'll get the information out to you. I think we're limited to 400. So I think that's going to be a pretty good show.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Let's move on to gold.
please do.
So gold, I think, was the canary in the coal mine. And
Interesting.
as the silver market rallied like crazy early last week, gold was like, eh.
It was like anemic. I really needed some Geritol or something. You were like going, it's up $3. Silver's up $1. It's gold's up a buck or two. You're like going, what's going on?
Yeah. So
Nobody was
gold never got above $1,900.
No.
Platinum also, for that matter, didn't really do anything. So it was
Okay.
a very silver centric move. And
Yeah.
I think that spoke volumes. It gave me an early indication on Monday that the rally in silver was probably unsustainable. And so
That's
gold
interesting.
ended up closing down the week for a 2%. And it was the second consecutive lower weekly close in gold.
But we did hold 1,800 feet.
No, well, not quite.
Not quite.
We traded down to 1784.87. It was a
Right.
9 week low, but it popped back up. And
Right.
we're kind of watching the 50-week moving average, and so we
Okay. What is that?
briefly.
What's a 50 week? I do the
It's
100.
right around the close. It's right around
Okay.
the close
All right.
from
So it's
Friday.
interesting close. I mean, that means that we'll have another wild Sunday night.
Yeah. So my thesis has been that probably the next big driving force behind the bull market in gold was going to be the return of Asian physical buyers. But I thought that they
Now we've got
probably,
the Chinese holiday coming up, correct, sir?
Friday this week,
Friday.
the
Okay.
12th, is the
Yeah.
beginning of Chinese New Year.
Hello.
Let's call it Lunar New Year
Lunar
because
New
it's
Year.
it's
Yeah.
celebrated in other
What's the new
Asian
symbol?
countries.
I forgot.
It's the year of the ox.
You're the ox. One of
I'm an
my
ox.
favorites. One of my favorites. Yep.
That's right.
Oh, you're an ox.
I am an ox,
Okay,
yes. And
great.
my
Okay.
daughter's an ox as well.
Okay. Terrific.
So, and then I got a dog and a rooster. So that's my that's my little menagerie.
All right. All right. Well,
Um,
so we've got an opportunity to see a push coming out of Asia, which would be Hong Kong, as far as buying of physical jewelry.
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah,
the lower prices that we saw towards the middle and end of this past week, I think
right.
it's going to help the case. So
Absolutely.
we'll see how it all pans out. I
Uh-huh.
thought potential could be as low as 1,700 bucks in gold, but we may not get there, and we'll just kind of see how it plays out. What
Well,
I
let's
what I
just
also
let's just
like,
say that the market's been tired, but we saw some on this break. We did see some good buying, and right now the market's just hovering on a support line.
right, and
I think it's where we should leave it.
yeah, well, I also wanted to note that India lowered their taxes on refined gold.
Oh yeah, that big cut, as a matter of
Well,
fact.
it was more than 2%.
Yeah,
Down from 16.26% to 14.07%. So
yeah,
pretty big move.
yep.
They say it's because the price has gone significantly higher, so that they have the room to lower that. But
Not the fact that all the
hopefully,
jewelers are going bankrupt because of the fact
right?
of the COVID. I think
Yeah.
that had a little more to do with it.
So hopefully that draws some of the Indian buyers back into the
Yeah, I
into
agree.
the market as well. It's like, hey, 2%, 2.5, 2.25% discount right there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right,
So
let's spin into the PGMs here. We have some gigantic news coming out of South Africa. All you platinum palladium people that are following us, and we've been beating you over the head for close to a year and a half to buy it. Big news out of South Africa. South African production down 7%. Huge, huge. Everybody was in shock. Now, here's the big news. See if I hope you're sitting down. PGM production. In other words, yield to ton. You take a ton of ore out, you smelt it, it comes out. It's down by 47% on yield. Now, that's a big number.
that's huge.
Okay. That is a big number. That's directly from mining.com, probably one of the best sources in metals. Man, I saw that number this week and I almost fell over. I was like, what? We've been telling you and talking about this for almost 2 years. It's been a talking point. They're going deeper and they're getting less yield. These mines are over 100 years old and we're seeing less product coming to the market. So, subsequently, when you see numbers like this, at some point there's going to be a big impact. So, watch your platinum, guys. You're close to $1,000 here. If you aren't in this, you might want to be thinking about it.
Right. And so I think the PGMs kind of took note of some of the supply data. Obviously, we know, because we've been talking about it again, like you suggested, forever,
Yeah.
about the expectations for demand of PGMs,
Yes.
because of green
Of the
initiatives,
green initiatives. Yeah.
um, tighter and tighter carbon emissions standards, and so
I
forth.
know.
Demand.
And China only bought 1 billion tons of coal last week, but their initiative is still going.
Yeah, well, it's better than 2 billion.
Okay. Gotta look at the bright side, right?
So platinum ended last week up 4.6%.
Yes, it
You
did.
know, it continues to struggle on upticks above 1,100 bucks. I sound like a broken record, I
Boy,
know.
you are too.
However,
Yeah.
it has formed those pops up above 1,100 bucks, and then the sell-offs, the lows, the following lows have been generally higher. So we've got an ascending wedge pattern, and you can see that in the chart I'll put up. But that's a bullish pattern.
Yeah.
It's about $124 measuring objective. So once we get that final breakout, we would anticipate at least another $124 on the upside in platinum, which targets about 1257, call it. And that's kind of beyond the Fibonacci objectives that we were already talking about at
Always
1173
got to
and
bring
and
up that dead
1223.
Italian philosopher, huh?
That Italian guy. Yes.
All
Palladium.
right. Hey, what about Dr. Copper? Yeah,
Well,
you got a little news for me here. It's been very tired.
let's just do palladium real quick. So palladium
Oh,
also is
sure.
up about 5%. all the losses from the previous Friday were retraced.
Right.
And so again, kind of the same theme that we're talking
Well,
with
the
platinum.
reason I just skipped over is it closed $50 higher today. There were no losses. I mean, it was just sort
Yeah.
of, it just was like, well, we'll retrace our last losses.
Decent U.S. auto sales in
Yes.
January.
Yeah.
2.7 million
Employment
cars.
wasn't too good though.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
2.7 million cars, 10.1 million um, light
Like,
trucks.
like trucks. Yeah.
So on expectations of 9.8 million. So a
That's a
beat
good number.
there.
Good number.
And so that looks good. Let's do copper and then we'll do jobs. Okay.
All right.
So copper was up 2.7%.
Yeah.
Retraced all of the previous week's losses,
Starting to sound like a
and
broken
then
record
some.
here, aren't we? We have
Um,
these big breaks, and all of a sudden people go, "Whoa, wait a minute! This stuff's discounted." Then you rally right back. It's
yeah,
amazing.
kind of a nice bull flag
Yeah.
on the copper chart and a breakout. So it's about a 24-cent measuring objective on that. So that kind of targets 384. But kind of a longer term objective. I still think $4 is
$4
within.
is realistic, but I want to warn you right now that we're seeing China. Remember, China, 61 to 63% of all the copper used is going to China. They're starting to see their stockpiles get a little higher here, so we might feel a little less demand. So we'll be a little cautious here with that bull flag.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
hopefully the rest of the world as knock on wood, we start to recover from the COVID
A
pandemic.
shot, baby.
That
I hope everybody's online. I the place was packed. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So January non-farm payrolls,
right.
49,000. So kind of a weak number. It's just below expectations of 50,000. But the unemployment rate dropped to 6.3%, and that's probably largely attributable to people just dropping out of the workforce.
I'm
You know,
100% with you on that.
yeah,
Pete, you hit it right on the head. That's exactly what it is.
yeah. Um, the 1.9 trillion dollar stimulus package made it through the Senate on a partisan vote, broken by the vice president, the president of the Senate. So it looks like that is going to move forward. Um, those expectations are driving risk appetite. Stocks
And have been
are
for a while.
yeah, setting
Yeah.
new record highs.
Yeah.
Um, so typically when risk appetite is on the upswing, uh, gold is sometimes
Commodities do well.
yeah, well, sometimes gold is a little bit less out of favor as a safe haven. But
I see what you're saying.
commodities in general
But
can
net
do.
usage, for example, of silver, will see a higher demand because people are buying computers, they're buying autos. They all use high volumes now of silver. So
Yeah,
um makes sense. I
yeah,
I I wanna throw something in because of the investors and speculators that watch our show, and they're always looking for something. Tin hit a 7-year high. Guess what? You want to put, you got to put your stuff in tin and cans and storage, and it's completely depleted. There almost is none. So tin looks very interesting. And nickel, by the way, I got to put my glasses on for a minute. Mr. Musk, Elon. Oh, I see you. Yes, I do. Remember when we offered to take you to the Philippines and buy all that nickel that you couldn't get for your batteries? And instead you went to Indonesia? Okay, I'll forgive you for that if you'll come on our show and do a quick interview. But the bottom line is this: I see you hiding behind that missile over there. I know I just saw that nickel production in Indonesia is no longer going to be allowed to be dumped into the ocean, that a complete non-polluting system is going into place, and the pressure on the nickel market will probably come off in the next year. So nickel at these highs might slowly start to level off. So our guys that are playing the nickel market, we have a big player in here who's doing the right thing. A tip of the hat for saving the ocean and all the pollution, dude. Really, really, really
yeah.
good.
So
Yeah.
what you're suggesting with all these higher commodity prices, hitting multi-year highs, is
Oh, yeah.
inflation seems to be picking up.
Aha,
What's
that word.
particularly concerning though is the World Food Price Index hit a 6.5-year high
I
in
saw
January.
that. Yeah, I saw that.
Additionally, West
And
Texas
fruits and
Intermediate,
vegetables are on the moon.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
except apparently for avocados. Avocados are at a multi-year low, which is, we eat a lot of avocados in our house. But
Uh-huh.
um, I would also point out that after 6 consecutive higher daily closes in oil, West Texas
And
Intermediate,
that gas too.
$27.26, a 1-year high.
Yeah,
So that's where the average consumer feels it. Food prices, energy
very well put.
prices.
Yep.
Um,
You want to move around, it's going to cost you more money. And if you like to eat, it's going to cost you more money. I mean, they're just in time for them to get their stimulus check so they can spend it on the inflated gas and oil, right?
right. So
Uh,
maybe put some of that stimulus money towards some gold as a natural hedge against inflationary pressures might be something to consider.
Yay. I like it. I like it.
And you
I
can
like
get
it.
that.
And silver coins, if we can find them. We're trying,
Oh,
guys.
I did want to mention also that the US Mint is out of gold.
Oh,
So
now wait a minute. They said they were close. They didn't say, did they say out now?
So the message from one of the major authorized purchasers was that they were out of gold, and maybe that means
Oh,
severely depleted. They're still
is
striking
that today?
coins, but no, earlier in the week,
Was
this
that one of
past
our
week.
guys? Yeah. I didn't know that. Okay.
I'm not going to mention because it came in
Yeah,
a
okay. All right,
private
all right, yeah.
email. But
Yeah.
and they suggested that the mint was anticipating really tight supplies through June.
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard that it was through June, and I was kind of shocked by that. So open. Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
you know.
So again, that it just speaks to the very strong demand and the
Yeah.
already kind of crimped supply as a result of COVID-related logistical issues and so
Yeah.
forth. So
Yeah, well put. That's exactly what
higher
it is. I mean, if
premiums.
you don't have anybody to put the stuff in the trucks, it doesn't matter how much you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, with that, I think we covered
I
all
think
of
we
our
covered everything.
bases.
I think, well, I'll get you some news on the special for you scrappers so you can get it into the Zoom. I'll get you some Zoom codes. And I think that pretty well covers it, Pete. What do you think?
Awesome. Let's call it a
All right.
wrap then. I'm Peter Grant with Zaner Metals in Denver. Have a great week.
Pete Thomas in Chicago. Thank you for visiting us. Give us a like. Please follow us. We really appreciate it. And have a great weekend.